Just like damn.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Sometimes it's the simple word that can be used to describe what is going on. You don't need to get fancy. You don't need to get on the Google machine and look up too many different things. You just start with blah. What is blah used to refer to? Well, to something which is boring or without meaningful content. And so far, that has been the NBA playoffs. But luckily for you, you got two people that will watch blah to the end of time. That will watch that third quarter. That will watch that fourth quarter to let you know what you missed, which wasn't much. But try to figure out what in the world is going on in the NBA postseason. A moment in time in which the NBA should be dominating the sports landscape. It's the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. And yet here we are, again, watching a team lose by 20-plus points in a contest. You look at that final score last night. Like, oh, okay, 10-point game. Was it interesting? It was not. It was not interesting at all. So how do we get you through this once again on a Wednesday? What it do, everyone? Welcome into the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. Look at this. Look at this unbelievable cast we have for you on a Wednesday morning. Of course, A-Marie holding it down as always. Steph the Hammer behind the glass. And one of the OGs, Mr. Josh Brown, producing on ProView Networks. It's been a minute, big dog, but it is good to see you. And we got yourself a good show this morning because, yes, we're still going to talk NBA basketball. There's a lot to unwrap in these series, especially the future for the Dallas Mavericks. I don't think anyone's surprised it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. Golden State's winning the next game. But there's a little bit more pressure on the Warriors because this should be a 2-2 series. So when you say blah, when you say, these games haven't been interesting, there hasn't been that fourth quarter moment, Dallas is going to be sitting there with the biggest what if on their minds the entire offseason. It goes back to Friday night game 2 where they blew a 19-point lead at Golden State. But A-Marie, here we are again trying to figure out what matters from a conference finals game that should matter a whole heck of a lot. But once again, one of the teams just runs away with the game.
What is going on? I am not betting the rest of these conference finals or NBA finals. I did not expect this. All we asked for was in a blowout. But I think we're also not surprised either. Because I think there's a lot of potential with Dallas. And when the shooting's off, I don't know what the Warriors can do because I don't think it was necessarily the Mavs offense, but the Mavs defense. That was the key to victory last night in the most simplest terms. But look at towards the end of the game, though. I mean, the Warriors started creeping back, so I'm not worried about the Warriors.
Yeah, and it was really with their second unit in that fourth quarter. So Dallas started the game on fire. And right now, the Mavericks, they're one-trick ponies. It's a good trick. It's three-point shooting.
Correct.
It's what happened in Game 2. They hit
Yes.
15 three-point shots in the first half, had a 19-point lead in the third quarter, and they blew that 19-point lead. However, in this game, they go 7 of 12 in the first quarter. They shoot 20 of 43 from three overall. So they have a 10-point cushion, this time 29-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and they close this game. And you said defense. And that was what was different for the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic, after the game, felt their intensity from start to finish was much better than it had been because this time they didn't blow a third quarter lead, a lead going into the fourth quarter like they did in Game 2. You mentioned Golden State. They started 6 of 24 from the three-point line. And this is a team that usually they can manage not hitting threes. The Splash Brothers, the way they play offense, they can find ways to score the
They've been
basketball.
scoring in the paint.
Absolutely.
They outscored Dallas in the paint.
But the Mavericks did a pretty good job stepping up and actually holding on to this lead in the contest. And it keeps going back to Game 2. You're in a 3-0 hole. You're not coming back from that. And Maverick fans, You believe in Luka Doncic, what he is doing. It's too much to overcome. Now, Kenny Smith, TNT, one of the analysts, said, no, this is what's supposed to happen. Like, you're not
Yes.
supposed to sweep through a Western Conference Finals, which I get, I understand, but can we not see teams get destroyed? Like, that is what is the hardest thing to figure out in this postseason is, okay, you're not supposed to see a team sweep, but I don't think we're supposed to see a team in every single game be bound by at least 25 points at some point in the game.
It doesn't make sense. It's a blowout every other day by every other team.
Now, the Warriors, there's going to be a lot to talk about with Golden State. Were they coasting at times? Were they not as locked in as they might have been in the other games? Because this isn't the first time Dallas has jumped out on them. So they've been in this situation in this series. Now, when the shots weren't hitting, then it was magnified by the fact that Dallas was hitting those shots. And you look at someone like Reggie Bullock, 0 of 10, and he was 6 of 10 from three-point range. And this also is a really good way to refocus the Luka Doncic conversation because it's so easy with superstar players, with number one players, especially in the game of basketball, because we know what one dude means and how much one guy can absolutely change the trajectory of a franchise, of a game, of a series. But it's easy to fall into the Harden trap. And I think a lot of people kind of watching Luka Doncic as good as he is, but getting that James Harden vibe, especially this series with the Warriors being down 3-0. Like, he's too ISO. He's a guy that's not getting everyone else involved. It's easy to fall in that trap because then you see a game where the role players actually play their roles and they win. So the Mavs are so close. They're closer than you realize in this series because if they didn't have that Game 2 meltdown, it's 2-2. But what ifs? Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, I like it. I think the Mavs are more about what's in for the future, and I think there's a lot of potential and get Luka someone, but I think this is about the Warriors, and I think they just wanted to go win it at home. Maybe that's what they really wanted to do. They didn't want to win under a leaky roof. They wanted to go home and win at home.
The leaky roof game. And Luka Doncic was chirping a little bit with Klay Thompson at the end of the game, walking off the court, so he's got that edge. The Warriors got pushed around a little bit. And now Dallas can put a little bit of pressure on Golden State. If they're able to come out with that same intensity, if the role players are able to step up, it could get a little bit interesting. We can talk yourself into the what ifs all you need. It goes back to that Game 2 where they lost that lead in what could be a 2-2 series. So close, but yet so far, as Dallas defeats Golden State 119-109 last night. And it was a weird day. And we are not just sports robots. That's what we're going to do. We're here for you. We're talking sports. We got a lot on deck for you this morning. But when you're watching that game, when you're watching the Twitter, there were 19 elementary school kids murdered yesterday. And when you see the players speaking out about it, you see the emotion that Steve Kerr went through prior, in his afternoon comments. At that point in time, we only knew of 14. And the emotion that he came through, it focuses you on these moments. And one of the things that Steve Kerr said, because look at the Warriors, and you're talking about coasting. I don't think that they were necessarily distracted in this game. I do think they got beat by the Dallas Mavericks because the emotion that Steve Kerr presented, I do not think that took away from what he was as a head coach during the game.
No.
And I think you can acknowledge going through those emotions, the fact that you're a coach, you're an athlete, you want to step up, you do have a platform, much like we do right now.
And you're human.
They're human beings.
Gotta humanize public figures, too.
Going through those emotions in the minute. But I appreciate what Steve Kerr said, and especially, the quote, "I'm fed up. I've had enough. We can't get numb to this. We can't sit here and just read about it and go, let's have a moment of silence." And, it's really hard because we got you this morning. We're going to be talking sports, but all of you that could be dropping kids off at school, all of you that are looking at your little ones this morning wondering, what if? A moment like that, you can't just gloss over. Like, we're not just robots. Like I said, we're going to be talking sports. But there were a lot of people yesterday when that mic turned on, when that camera went on them, trying to figure out what to do with their voice. And right now, it's really hard because this is not the first time, and it won't be the last time, that we're going to have a show where we have to acknowledge tragedy. Like, that something like that happens, you cannot talk about it. Doesn't matter if it's a music station, doesn't matter if it's sports talk radio, talk sports. I still remember being on air, and it was one of those moments where you see the breaking news come across, you're like, oh, thoughts and prayers, or something really bad happened, and it was Sandy Hook. And then after that, you realize, oh my gosh, what just happened, the emotions that you're going through. So, as we sit here this morning, and we got plenty of takes for you, we're going to be dropping it. Something like that happens, you have to listen to Steve Kerr. You have to listen to whatever. It doesn't matter if it's Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Warriors, or me right now, or someone on a station that you're talking about. Don't get numb to this. If you don't know the answer right away, that's okay. But we can't keep having moments of silence and just think, oh, next time it's going to be different. It will be different next time. 505-246-0610 is the phone number. The Sports Animal text line as well. Got a lot of stuff on deck. Oh, boy, do we have a lot of stuff on deck. OTAs, what does it all mean? The hype. The quarterbacks, they're in shape. The wide receivers talking about their new quarterbacks and new homes. It is the opening drive. Oh, what a crew do we have for you this morning. Marie, Steph, Mr. Brown, JJ Buck with you here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mix a little sports analysis, pop culture.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Moody's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
The Heat respawn, and their doors blown off. The other night, 20-point win for the Boston Celtics. In game, that series is 2-2. Going back to Miami, are we in store for a Jimmy Butler game? We'll get there. We will get there. But the buzz is with the Miami Dolphins. Are you buying the hype around Tua Tagovailoa? It is the opening drive. JJ Buck, A. Marie, Steph, OG, Mr. Brown on ProView Network. It's Catch a Show, Comcast Channel 26, streaming on. If you like the Twitter, you like the Facebook, like the YouTube, check us out in the mornings. Thank you for joining us here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. Tyreek Hill, he's very happy because he just got paid a lot of money. And Amory, you're asking.
That made sense, right?
Why would Tyreek want to leave? Because
Mahomesies.
They gave him $120 million, $72 million guaranteed in Miami. And
New trend.
Like, we just gave
hot trend
Patrick Mahomes $500 million. We might need to save some money in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not paying Tyreek Hill. But Tyreek has seen Tua for the first time, and he said yesterday, quote, "At first, I thought it was going to be something crazy, the ball going all over the place, but Tua actually has probably one of the prettiest balls I've ever caught in my life. It's very catchable. Tua is very accurate quarterback. That's all I'm going to say." When he drops out, that's all I'm going to say. Kind of initially feels like, is that a backhanded compliment? Like, he's accurate, but you're not getting the same kind of looks that you're getting with Patrick Mahomes. That's understandable. Tua's going to be doing a lot more work after the catch in this offense.
Not many people can do those like little sidearm throws and crazy throws.
Throws 50 yards.
I don't even know what that man does, but yeah,
hitting Tyreek on the go route. So it's gonna be a lot different. Like at Jalen Waddle last year, he had over 100 catches.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, like the yards per catch were insane. It was the yards after the catch. And it's going to be similar for Tyreek Hill. But are you buying into the hype? Because slowly but surely, the Dolphins are sucking me in. I love what they've done roster-wise around Tua. And understanding that you can look back, as we will, forever at that draft. And speaking of what ifs, what if Miami took Justin Herbert instead of Tua? Where would they be? Well, they can't live in that world because Justin Herbert is the quarterback for the Chargers, and they have to figure out if Tua can be someone that gets them to the postseason. Is Tua going to be viewed as the same type of ceiling quarterback as Justin Herbert? No. But this is the moment right now for Tua to make his career in the NFL. They have an organization, at least for 1 year, and that's all in. Is they didn't get Tom Brady.
Coach or quarterback or front office. What do you want to do?
Ownership.
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 Front office, yeah. Or Sean Payton.
And you're looking around, you go, and there's not a veteran guy that's better. We're in the Russell Wilson market. Aaron Rodgers back to Green Bay. So Tua, 5th overall pick. Can he cash it in? Surrounded him with a ton of talent. They got depth at the running back position. So Mike McDaniels, he comes from San Francisco. What does that mean? You're going to see a lot of players be able to get the football in different positions. It's going to be quick, Waddle, Hill, and then see what kind of shots that he takes. But Tyreek also said, quote, I just feel like football is all about confidence, and I'm very confident in my quarterback, end quote. I think if you're Tua, getting the praise of Tyreek Hill in this moment, that's got to feel good because he could have just came in and said that we're still working, he's still developing, we'll see. Wasn't the case. Tyreek Hill was pleasantly surprised with Tua and Amory. Do you think that Dolphins fans, the NFL fans, will be pleasantly surprised with Tua this season?
I think that it's not that they're going to be surprised. This is his 3rd year in the league. And I think we've just had that question mark on what he could be. He didn't play all the games last year, but the Dolphins had a weird season. Remember they went on like that 7-win streak, and you saw a lot of. I think Tua's going to be a good quarterback. I think this is a make or break year for him, though, and I think this is going to be the true test if he is Miami's like franchise quarterback. And we've talked about this for him and Jalen Hurts. Like certain quarterbacks, this is like their make or break. All right, we've given you the roster. We gave you a boy genius coach. What are you going to do with it? I don't think he's also done an awful job either. I think it's just like we will see what happens.
There's good quarterbacks in this league, but we want great quarterbacks.
Oh, yes. And it's all about the quarterback, win or lose.
And the thing for Tua is, can he have moments to where you watch Miami Dolphins game and it's going to be, oh, they won that game because of Tua? Because there's a lot of dudes that manage football games. There's a lot of quarterbacks. You can compete. You'll be doing pretty good. But can they give you that extra moment? And for Miami, like I'm starting to buy into the hype. It's not just Tyreek Hill, but it's the running backs they brought in. They signed Terron Armstead, who's an outstanding offensive lineman from New Orleans, to help protect him. You look at some of the veterans that they brought in defensively. Like they're a team that they're adding those extra pieces that you'd expect winning teams to do, going, oh, we're putting these veterans on the edges because we believe we can win now.
Yes, I believe they could win. I think they're one of those teams, like, you're like, oh my God, Miami, they're not like, no offense, Dallas Cowboy fans or like certain fans are just like, all right, we're winning the Super Bowl. I don't think they're like, I wouldn't put them in that category, but I put them like, do not sleep on them. We wouldn't be surprised if they're a postseason team.
First 4 weeks, can they survive? Because have you seen their schedule to start the season? It's home versus New England, at Baltimore, home versus Buffalo, at Cincinnati.
Wow, that is going to be a.
If they come out of that 2-2, you can be feeling really good about the Miami Dolphins.
Even though there will still be a lot of golf left, yes. But also their division isn't that easy either. I know Mac Jones is in the best shape of his life. Just
great shape.
You can't sleep on the Patriots ever when Bill's still there. The Bills, I think, are can and will be Super Bowl contenders in the near future. I think they're very close. And I mean, the poor Jets, but that's a tough division too.
Speaking of the Jets, Zach Wilson, stronger.
The
weight room.
Everyone's looking. I love OTAs. I think just as fans and people are just like in media, we're just like everyone is just like Super Bowl ready. We're ready to go. All these receivers who got paid $1 bajillion, like, yeah, I have the best quarterback in the world.
That first month, make or break for the Miami Dolphins. It's a long season. You just said it. They went on a 7-game win streak late in the year to get back in the mix. It's going to happen. But 2 of those 4 games in that first month against division opponents. And Brian Flores did a pretty good job against the Patriots in his 2 seasons at Miami. I got the boy genius. You got Mike McDaniels. An offense that they've invested a lot into it around Tua. At Baltimore, another bounce-back team because they were not as healthy as they've been years past last year. And, a team that represented the AFC in the Super Bowl, Cincinnati Bengals. So you're buying into the Tua hype. There's a lot of hype trains that start to get going around OTAs. And this is one of them. Tyreek Hill likes what he sees. Will we like what we see out of the Miami Dolphins? 505-246-0610 is the phone number and the text line. Coming up at 8:30 this morning, Sebastian Noel, ProView Networks, is going to join us. There's been a lot of prep news that's coming out. A big-time high school quarterback playing somewhere else. Some backcourt changes at one of the high schools. So we'll break it down with Sebastian Noel coming up at 8:30 and continue to hear from you. Marie, Steph, and the opening drive, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following
Do you have a
sponsors
property
for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Very busy last night. Out on the corner of University and Avenida Cesar Chavez. Had some soccer, had some baseball, the Topes. Not a good start to the series. 8-3 loss to Round Rock. Missed opportunities again.
JJ, I'm becoming so attached to this team now that I produce these games with Josh, and the Isotopes had plenty of opportunities.
That's all right.
I'm very upset.
People are still very excited.
No. 7,000 people were out there last night.
On Tuesday night, it was a
And
little
the
chilly.
United across the way. It was a little chilly. It was nice. They were like an excited crowd. They were trying to rally every time we presented them. Every time the Isotopes. I'm sorry. Now I'm a weird now with the Isotopes. When they're presented, I was really happy with the crowd for a Tuesday. They were turned up.
They're turned up. That's a big homestand because I know you got fireworks this weekend, Memorial Day weekend.
We're gonna rally.
What about Brian Servin over the weekend?
Brian Servin absolutely
Did awesome.
gets called up. It's 2 homers Saturday against the Mets.
I think you broke a record, right? I think you made a record for being like the first home game or being a rookie at the first game.
Believe it.
Home runs.
Hit 2 homers.
I think his mom got a foul ball at one
Aww,
of his games.
that's really cute.
Yeah.
Great
I've never caught a foul ball.
I've caught one at an Isotopes game.
You have?
Minor league game, but never at a Major League Baseball game.
That's cool.
And then United, their rescheduled game versus Phoenix. Careful, United fan. Be careful. So, of the teams out there, it's El Paso and Phoenix for New Mexico United that have built rivalries. Regional, it makes sense. They played a lot of games, especially against Phoenix Rising, and they've seen them in the U.S. Open Cup multiple times. Beat them in the past, lost this year in the Open Cup. But be careful. A lot of chirping going on. You enjoy it. United did what they had to do. They were playing a bunch of teenagers on the other side. And United fans, well, that's not our fault. It's not our fault Phoenix had COVID. Yes. But you also beat a bunch of teenagers. 7-0. So you absolutely had to go out there and destroy them at the UNM Soccer Complex. But all that matters is 3 points. It's a victory ahead of a road trip for United. And Devin Sandoval back on the pitch. Subbed on in the second half. That was really good to see. Former El Dorado Eagle.
Woo,
Mexico
woo,
Lobo.
go Eagles.
Back on the pitch after a year away. Dealing with the heart issue, the uncertainty. So I had to step away, get that checked out. So that was good to see. But be careful. There was a whole lot of chirping going on for a 7-0 win against a bunch of teenagers. But that adds to the rivalry. That adds fuel to the fire next time you see Phoenix Rising FC. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, Amory, Steph the Hammer, holding it down.
The Hammer. I like that.
Mr. Brown on ProView Networks, one of the OGs, back at it this morning. Much appreciated. Check us out, Comcast Channel 26, and on whatever platform you enjoy in the morning, Facebook, YouTube, the Twitter. Pull it on up and enjoy it. And as we talk about buying the Tua hype, and he's one of those players that people are looking at making a huge step next season. And you going through the list of players coming back, OTAs, feeling good. I ran across a Minnesota Viking, A. Murray.
Oh.
Irv Smith Jr., the tight end.
My boy.
Was coming back from an ACL injury?
That was so heartbreaking last season. With Kyle Rudolph leaving, and he had an exceptional season before that, and so it's comeback season, baby. And I think he's going to have – this is another one we were talking about in the category make or break season.
Irv Smith. Now you add him to Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. What can Kirk Cousins do with that? And, oh, by the way, he has someone named Dalvin Cook behind him.
Yeah, we're doing all right. And hopefully the ongoing broken record of a decent offensive line, because people forget that is a very important thing, is to have a very good offensive line. I know you guys are quick to blame the quarterback. I think with a offensive-minded coach, which the Vikings haven't had since 2000, we haven't had one in a while, like 14 years. Or more, I think. I don't know. It's been a long time since we've had an offensive-minded coach. But with Kirk Cousins, I don't think the narrative is ever going to change with him. But I think between having Kevin O'Connell and all these weapons, I think there should be no reason why he doesn't do well.
Kevin O'Connell, his head coach, former quarterback himself. He comes from that Sean McVay tree, so
little boy geniuses,
offensive boy geniuses. You can throw it out there. I really like this description of Kirk Cousins, and I'm reading some.
Oh gosh.
Do you know there's 16 quarterback head coach combination, 16 new ones.
Oh my god.
This season.
What did Kirk?
It says no one's betting on Cousins to headline a championship run, but
nope.
For all the flack he gets, he's still a borderline top 10 passer with underrated efficiency and big play potential. And this is the year to attack that division. This is the year to bring down the Green Bay Packers. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be salty? Okay, he got paid. But he doesn't have Devontae Adams. What is that offense going to look like? How's Matt LaFleur going to manage the Green Bay Packers, who two good running backs, but now a ton of question marks? It ain't Sammy Watkins. He ain't the answer. Because what kind of quarterback is Aaron Rodgers going to look like? Defensively, they've been pretty good. Like, they've done a good job building that roster. For all the woe is me Aaron Rodgers wants to throw out there about not having more weapons, they've done what you're supposed to do. Is when you have a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, when you had an offense that there wasn't question marks with the offense, you invest in the defense. You know, they did it again, but now they actually have a big question mark.
Well, my
receiving core.
My biggest question mark with the Minnesota Vikings was actually not Kirk Cousins in the offense the last 3 or 4 years. It was our defense that was really struggling. We had a lot of missing pieces, and they gave up a lot of points. So I'm really excited because I feel like we drafted well, and the Vikings should be a team that you're not. I'm not saying it's Super Bowl. I never say that. I'm saying don't sleep on them. They're going to be a good team on both ends.
This feels like the moment, even in year one with Kevin O'Connell, is attack the Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
Win that division. The NFC North is there. Packers are still going to be good. But firepower advantage is with Minnesota Vikings skill position players. Quarterback advantage, Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers has been that guy who this season is going to be the toughest test for Aaron Rodgers because he's been able to rely on Devontae Adams, and they have that connection. And he's made other players look good. But now this is the first time in how many years since Devontae Adams hit the scene where you're looking at the Packers offense going, oof, Aaron, you're going to have to be that dude that makes
What's going
to
happen in that red zone?
Right? Makes good players great.
What's going to happen in that red zone?
Your safety blanket ain't there.
Mm-mm. And I'm not taking away from Aaron Rodgers. Like, I obviously cannot stand him as a fan, but as a professional in media, I will respect the man.
So I am very interested in watching the evolution of that offense. Aaron Rodgers makes plays off script. Aaron Rodgers is incredible. But who is he trusting, you said, in that red zone? It's 3rd and 9. Who's that dart going to make that play? How does Matt LaFleur handle that offense? Because Minnesota should take a huge step forward. Chicago,
oh yeah,
Matt Eberflus, Justin Fields, they're still trying to figure it out.
Chicago's a little
Tell
bit
me
of a
all
mess
you want
right
about
now.
Detroit.
They're going to be all right.
They lost a lot of close football games last year.
Yes. Can't sleep on Detroit.
They should not be pushing Minnesota or Green Bay in that division.
Absolutely not. They will not.
So what's the OTA storyline for the Minnesota Vikings? Who's feeling good? Who's feeling great coming out of OTAs?
I guess the biggest storyline too, and what Minnesota's talking about, Minnesota fans and media is talking about, is they're really excited about, again, having an offensive-minded coach. Just even like using Dalvin Cook more as like a receiver. Like, people are super excited, like how creative this offense is going to be, and I'm super excited because look how much talent they are surrounded by. So it's going to be great.
Someone's going to be a new division winner. Is it going to be the Miami Dolphins? Is it going to be the Minnesota Vikings? There's that extra wild card spot. We know there's an opportunity, but it's open. And who's going to take their opportunity to attack? Take your thoughts, 505-246-0610, the phone number, or the Sports Animal text line. Loaded show for you this morning, coming at 8:30. Sebastian Rell, ProView Networks, is going to join us. There's still a lot of prep news to discuss. Players changing their high school. What does that mean going into next season for what we thought were going to be some really good teams, but some big-time student-athlete changes at the high school level? Sebastian Rell is going to join us to break that down. Got Amory. We got the Hammer, Steph. JJ Buck with you here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This spring, let Audible bring a smile with comedy, sci-fi, thrillers, or whatever you love listening to. From audiobook.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
There's only one Rome, and there's only one home for Rome. The Jim Rome Show is up next at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
They get ownership. Ownership in something.
You should.
Dolphins are like, hey, Tom Brady, you want to be a quarterback? You can own some of the team. Hey, Tim Conley, want to come from Denver to the Minnesota Timberwolves to build our roster? Here's some ownership. Like those stock options. Got to get in at the right time. Got to get a piece of that ownership percentage at the right time.
The Broncos?
They're for sale. I'll chip in. I can't be a big percentage of it.
Put some of that Cumulus Media paycheck into the Broncos?
I could work at Cumulus Media for 187 years.
I hope you don't have to work that long.
I think, by the way,
I hope you can enjoy a retirement.
Was it last week? I think it was last week. It was one of those. I got an email from corporate. Uh-oh. No, but it was like, thank you. I was like, what? Let's go. Thank you for your dedication. I think been here like 14 years.
14 years?
Yeah.
I know. I was blown away when you said you've been here like since you were a
Been here
teenager.
since the dawn of time. You stopped to walk uphill. To get that radio station, it wasn't even a station.
Oh my god!
It was me screaming out a window.
2008.
14 years?
2008.
Yeah, I think it's like 15
And
years,
JJ's young.
Right? You were a baby when you started.
I was. I started working in radio when I was 17 years old.
And look you grown. Yeah, blossom.
I'm like a parasite. They just can't get rid of
You're
me.
like
But
Tom
you
Brady.
age great. Look how
Thank-
well you look.
Thank you.
I know. He started off teenager. Now he's a grown man.
I'm a man. I'm
crushing his career.
Not 40
he's a
yet.
dad. Wonderful husband.
Welcome into the opening drive, everyone, here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. Amory, Steph holding it down, JJ Buck with you. Symbieta back tomorrow.
Oh, I
Share
can't wait.
all
I'm
his
sure he's had too much fun.
Conference USA escapades.
The pictures look awesome.
That's
I'm pretty
awesome.
jealous.
Oh, can I call in from the beach and talk to you guys? Sure. Jeff.
Yeah, well, we're looking at the little skyscraper downtown Albuquerque.
Doubletree Hilton downtown. Yes, you can call in from the beach talking about Conference USA. But it sounds really good. You got to be excited. If you're New Mexico State, you have a good home for your athletic programs. I do believe the football is going to be pretty good in that conference. Some of the coaches that Symbieta was telling me about, I'm like, oh, okay, Rich Rodriguez, Mike McIntyre, Willie Taggart is going to be in that league. Now you got Jared Kill for the Aggies. And, of course, it's not just where New Mexico State's going to be. It's a potential New Mexico Bowl partner as well.
Which is awesome.
And that could get really interesting now.
Ooh, could
With
get dicey. Get a
New
little
Mexico-
homer.
Well, New Mexico
Get a little
State
homer?
going to conference, you'd say we could actually get a New Mexico Bowl. UNM New Mexico State.
I think that would be epic.
That would be awesome.
That would be.
It's the
scary.
rivalry
That
game.
would be.
That matters. That game, you're always filling up the stadium. But it's usually, it's early in the season. They're like, oh, maybe we'll
Can
be
we
good
vote
this year.
on that? We know the guy.
We know the guy. If Jerry Kill gets New Mexico State to 6 wins, and Danny Gonzalez does the same thing, that's a must-see New Mexico match. Because everyone for years has screamed, oh, they created New Mexico Bowl just for the Lobos. No, they didn't. When was the last time they were in the game?
What are
It was like
people
2016,
talking about?
2017. But they've played the New Mexico Bowl for 16 years now. 15
There's a million bowl games all over the country.
But that is one that I do want to see. To actually have that game with something else on the line, it's a rivalry, it pops. But given the fact that it's not late in the season, so you're not necessarily playing for bowl eligibility, it's not a conference rivalry, it hits a little different.
It hits very
when
different.
it's early in the season. You get your buzz, you get your pop, you're filling up your stadium. But to actually see those teams
I think it's huge to play in a bowl
in
game.
a bowl game now with Conference USA, they have that affiliation with the New Mexico Bowl. Of course,
It'll
the
help-
Mountain West membership.
It will help the program. Man,
go.
you're
Let's go.
I'm gonna start calling it OTA dreaming. You're at this part of the year where you're just dreaming and fantasizing about what could be next year. Now you have this in my head, JJ. Now you have this in my head. I gotta see it. We gotta both root for the Aggies and Lobos this year. Whatever side you're on.
That's a New Mexico I want to see.
Ooh, I like that. Gotta have it.
A little extra oomph between those two teams.
We gotta bring this up to Coach Gonzalez.
Get to a bowl game.
Well, no. I know. Danny's probably listening. I meant like
Danny,
we got it.
please. No.
That's how we could market it to the crowds, both sides.
We do have that question. We ask it every year, like when that game should be played. How do you get the most out of that rivalry? I think right now, early in the season, makes sense for both teams because it's just they don't have a good track record. You can't expect right now that you're going to see a game late in the season, and even if it's a rivalry game, but if it's 2-7 New Mexico State coming against 3-8 New Mexico, you're gonna be like,
Is it ever opening kickoff game?
I think they did it.
I think that would be cool.
I think it's been a few times. It's been the opener, but it's usually first month of the season. You're 3 or 4 games in.
I think that'd be a cool tradition if you kick off
The
against
opener.
Yeah,
Against your rival. It's always tough.
Well,
because
for our state, for our teams,
you're
for our
either
universities
getting,
here.
No Lobos. They've settled in. They've got they'll play their FCS game, and they get into their schedule. For New Mexico State, it's kind of up in there. This year it's Nevada 0-week game, but they've been all over the place, just building an independent football schedule. Sometimes they have to go right out of the gate. It's their money game. This year it's a good game against Nevada. It's going to be down in Las Cruces for them. Jerry Kill's first game. I get why, as a football coach, you don't want that to be your first game. Stepping out of the gate against your rival, you want quote-unquote tune-up game because you're not playing exhibition football in college. So that's why a lot of teams have that FCS opener. I think right now it works. It's early in the season. You still got the hope and the hype, as opposed to late in the season where, as I just don't trust even like big Lobo or Aggie fans to get excited if late in the season
If it was like Thanksgiving week or something.
You can't have that.
When all the other rivalries happen.
But you can't have that false hope of like, it's going to be different this year. Hoorah, it's our year. It's, we're a 3-win team, and now we're playing a rivalry game.
It's going to be different this year. Let's go. In Gonzalez and Kill, we trust. Big fan of both of them.
Yeah,
Big fan.
Got some added excitement, though. So I'm looking forward to talking with Jeff when he's back tomorrow. The Conference USA meeting is a buzz. I thought that the Conference USA was going to fall apart. They did a really good job when we just had this, last year, that kind of new quick wave of conference realignment. They did a really good job of keeping that conference together. It does look like a very good landing spot for New Mexico State. Initially, I was concerned because the teams that were leaving, I didn't think it was going to be better than even the WAC for that basketball team, because that's the marquee program for New Mexico State, their men's basketball team. Wherever we heard that before. But looking at Conference USA, looking at the future, I think they're in a very good position, and now you have that on the table. It was always kind of there. Like, with bowl games, they have their contracts with certain schools, but in this case, conferences. So it was kind of always in the back. Like if something were to happen and New Mexico State became bowl eligible and the Lobos were bowl eligible, they could have potentially put that matchup together. But now it's for sure. New Mexico has a partnership with Conference USA and Mountain West. Let's go.
Let's
get the 6 wins.
I'm very excited.
Why not this year? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Have
Lobo fam, where you at?
a New Mexico Bowl
Aggie fam, where you at?
with a rivalry twist. Let's get it. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610. The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, A. Marie, Steph with you. Thank you for joining us here on The Sports Animal. A ton to get to. We're talking hype, OTAs, who you buying into at this moment in time. Plant your flag. Practice. I'm talking about practice. Absolutely. Here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Cimbietta, and JJ Buck.
We saw a moment earlier this week that was a reminder of how to stick it to the fans. What? Atmospheres, fans going back and forth, they're chirping. It's not supposed to be easy when you step into an opponent's arena. There still should be some lines. Like, just because you have a ticket, just because you have a Twitter account, doesn't mean they should go off. Now, some more people think they can do it whenever they want because there's no consequences. But take note, Kyrie Irving, to something that we saw on the ice this week. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610. The Sports Animal, JJ Buck, A. Marie, Steph holding it down. What's up, Grant? Good to see you, my man. He's now producing on ProView Networks.
Wow.
Look at this. And they got
Squad.
They got a great crew over there. And shouts out to ProView Network. You can watch us on Comcast Channel 26 and whatever social media platform you might be scrolling on in the morning. So, you know, Kyrie Irving, when he went back to Boston, it was going to be tough. And Kyrie went, you know, an eye for an eye. He's like, bleep me, no bleep you. And here's a bunch of fingers. Okay, that's one way to handle it. And then the Boston Celtics went out and won that series. We had the best take your Twitter account, take your nonsense, and go home moment. And it happened Monday night between the Colorado Avalanche and St. Louis Blues. And this is the ultimate thing. This is the best thing you can do if you're an athlete. It ain't easy to sit there and just take that mess because a lot of the things that are said at sporting events and insert, it's been one of you out there that have done it. Raise your hand. This isn't the whole, you know, glass houses, throwing stone things. We've all gotten a little over our skis at sporting events. We get very emotional. But St. Louis, they lost their starting goaltender, Binnington, after a collision with Nazem Kadri. Now, Kadri, he has a little bit of a track record. He's gotten suspended at times. He's crossed the line. But this was one where it was Kadri had the puck. He was going hard towards the net. He got hit by a defender, got off balance, and smashed into the goaltender. And it's you know, goaltender in hockey is like touching the quarterback in football. Like, it doesn't matter if it was, you know, a situation that it was just part of the play. It wasn't dirty. Like, when someone gets taken out like that, everyone is going to react.
Yes.
And so the Blues, are, you know, they weren't right after him. You get that. But, you know, look at the puck out front, and great look at this on ProView Networks. And you see, you know, Kadri just reaching for a rebound. He gets hit, and then he blows up Binnington. Like, that's just an unfortunate play in a hockey game. But then, you know, fast forward into the game. Kadri is receiving racist messages. He's receiving death threats on social media from upset hockey fans. And you're like, all right, here we go. Here we go. You know, it's like, once again, because you think, you know, social media, you can do whatever you want, which is dumb. But that was just an unfortunate incident. Like, goaltender got taken out at the moment of a game. You expect St. Louis to retaliate, and they did. Some guys took shots at Kadri, went after him. That's handled on the ice. But what I am saying is Kadri didn't just go out there and immediately go, no, bleep me, bleep you. Here's my fingers. Kadri went out the other night and scored a hat trick on St. Louis in the Avalanche's 6-3 win on Monday to take a 3-1 series lead. And that is how you respond. That is the ultimate
Absolutely.
bleep you moment. Things are going to be said, and I'm never going to get too over the top, you know, especially like in basketball, because they're right there, man. Like, they're sitting on the bench. There's people that can afford a seat right beside Steve Kerr. So you're not going to be able to ignore everything. But that right there, when we have these moments, we're talking about Kyrie Irving, we're talking about how athletes are handling themselves, and what's the line, what's everyone has a breaking point. Whether you're Kevin Durant on social media and all his burner accounts, whether you're JJ Buck on the Sports Animal, people hate when they have to hear on the radio. Like everyone has a breaking point. But the ultimate bleep you is that moment, is dropping a hat trick in St. Louis after that game. Going, all right, I heard you. I see what you got, but handle this. Here's the salt on the way out. Easier said than done, but when we're talking about athletes, how they handle things, what they have to put up with, the mess, the nonsense, that's not just pressure. That's not just questioning a dude, for not living up to his contract or for not being a superstar. That's the ultimate, no. You want to spout off? Here's 3 goals. Go home with that L.
I think that was a great response, and I'm sorry, I was reading his wife posted all the DMs that were sent to him. People, I understand the love for sports and the fandom, but death threats and how racist some of you all are being, this is not cool. But I think, to your point, JJ, I think that's true, and that's what Kyrie didn't do. It did not finish the game. He just went and played video games, and
because you want to stand up for yourself.
Of course you should stand up for yourself.
But there's also one where it's better to let that fall on deaf ears.
Absolutely.
Than go to.
He didn't have to. He could have done He could have responded, and he responded in the most perfect way possible.
Because now you want the fools to stay looking foolish. You don't want 2 fools screaming at each other. And if you're an athlete, man, the pressure you're under, the junk that you take, you don't get paid to deal with death threats and racism.
No.
That's not part of your contract. You don't sign that and say, oh, here's your, here, Mr. Awesome wide receiver, here's your 4-year deal. But also, by the way, this is what you get to put up with.
Well, and sports fans hold grudges, too. I always see pictures, a quarterback will be holding their brand new baby, and, a sports fan will put from, last year, remember when you gave up that game into overtime? I hope your child dies. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hope you don't drop that baby like you dropped the football.
Yeah, something. Just stop. And it's fun. It's fun to chirp. I think we've talked about this a lot. There's a huge difference.
Smack talk, environment, back and forth. There's an element to that. That's why even this medium exists, because of the passion, because of the emotion. I love it. We are in deep. We are the people.
And you take that risk. You take that risk going on the field, the ice, the court, the whatever you're playing on, playing field. But, that took it too far. And as you've watched the highlight, it's going to happen.
Things happen.
And I think we know the differences.
And for Kadri, he's a player. I'd equate him like a Draymond Green.
Okay.
He's had his moments where you're like, oh no, that wasn't that wasn't a basketball play.
Like the villain, but
so he's had his moments where you look at it and people go, oh yeah, that's on purpose. It was Kadri. That was in the course of a game. You're gonna be upset, but the way he responded, come back out the next game with a hat trick, woo! That's one of those moments, man. That's the ultimate. No, bleep you.
Absolutely.
That's what you got to do. So take some notes, Kyrie Irving. Take some notes, Kevin Durant. You want to change the narrative, even if it's unfair. I get it. There's social media. There's talking heads. There's fools like me on a microphone 3 hours a day spouting off. But you have the ultimate reverse card, the draw 4 card. And it's the performance that you put out there. You want to shut everyone up? You go out there and leave no doubt. You had one of those moments from Kadri this week. I think a lot of athletes take a step back, go, all right. You want to keep the fools looking foolish? Go out there and get it done.
And he's had multiple suspensions before, so it's not – he's not – I don't think he doesn't hold himself accountable. I think just people are taking this incident way too far. They're not letting him get away with stuff. This was an accident. I think this was it's
called sport.
It's called sport, yes.
Things
Accidents, injuries happen.
Goaltenders, even quarterbacks can still get hurt playing sport.
We've seen contactless injuries.
Hockey.
Yes. Oh, yes. Out of all sports. Oof.
You don't hit the goaltender.
No.
But the goaltender can get in the way. It happens. 505-246-0610. That is the phone number. Also, the Sports Animal text line. You can hit us up on the social media. You can find at Part-Time Bro on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the TikTok. She's a TikToker.
I'm on everything.
Making those TikTok videos. Got to teach me how to do that. That's where I feel old. Like, how do I make a TikTok?
That's where the money is.
I know. Money. Find me _JJ Buck on the Twitter. You can send an email, jj@sportsanimalabq.com, because I know all of you out there. You've sent Jeff like 84,000 emails.
You're like, I'm listening. You're not here. Just call us, man.
You don't have to call us. Just send us an email.
Or text.
Call or text. We got you. We got a lot on deck. So coming up, 8:30, Sebastian Morel, ProView Networks. A lot of big high school sports stories to break down. Hey, Duke City Gladiators are back in town, and we might actually be talking to some Duke City Gladiators and a former high school standout athlete playing at San Diego State. A lot of big stuff this weekend in the 505. It is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever.
So there's 2 first-team All-NBA players left in the playoffs. Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic. Everyone else is at home. And so this is the bizarre world that the NBA is living in. Like, things are really good right now for the NBA. The amount of good teams in the league, the amount of star players. There's a lot of stars. And I know we love to have the superstar conversation. Who's in, who's out. Nikola Jokic, he's at home. He's a 2-time MVP, back-to-back. Giannis Antetokounmpo, defending NBA champion, he's at home. Joel Embiid, wondering who's going to be his teammate. Went from Ben Simmons, who couldn't shoot, to James Harden, who didn't want to shoot. And Devin Booker, number 1 seed, bye-bye. So the NBA is in a weird spot.
The Kardashian curse.
Maybe. The Kardashian curse. How's it working out for Pete Davidson so far?
Well, for now.
Well, you got so many good players. You have good teams. And yet the conference finals have been blah, 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 blah. Like, what's going on?
I don't know.
You don't even want to bet on it anymore. That's how frustrated you are. And you're the basic bettor.
Yeah, because I don't want blowouts from each team every other night.
Quarter and half lines now.
Yes.
That's what you got to do.
Yes.
But the NBA released our All-NBA teams. And there you go. We got Jokic, Antetokounmpo, Doncic, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, first team. Only 2 of those 5 are still in the postseason. So that's the battle of the NBA. Like, your league is pretty good.
Did we see the Mavs here? In the Western Conference
On the
Finals?
Western Conference Finals. Because of what they stunned the Phoenix Suns. This, because if you look, being down 3-0 is a lot different than 2-1 than 3-1. Because those odds are not good. But we kind of went through this with Phoenix and Dallas in that playoff series. We thought Phoenix was going to sweep them. Like, oh, this is over. So Dallas still has a little bit of something. Like we saw last night, as they actually played defense for an entire second half and hit 3-point shots.
Has something or going to have something. I think that if they do, what they do with the house money,
yeah.
And I think this is just going to be a good team. But these kind of teams have to capitalize in the playoffs right now when you don't have the LeBrons and the other stars in the playoffs. But I think we are surprised by this conference finals.
Yeah, I think for, of course, the Dallas Mavericks. And this is what's really hard to digest as a Mavericks fan, is because your future is bright. Like, Luka is 23 years old.
Very bright.
This dude is unbelievable. But it's also very easy to assume you're going to have this opportunity again to be right there on a doorstep. But for them, they're going against still one of the best teams we've seen.
In the last decade. Let's remind people, the Warriors.
Time.
I know since the pandemic, the world's just been weird and the sports world has been weird. And we're like, oh, yeah, the Magic were relevant and the Lakers won. And I mean,
do you remember the Toronto Raptors won
the Toronto's happened right before that.
Happened. Yeah.
Jeremy Lin was on the by the way, that was another one.
On that roster?
I forgot he was on the Toronto Raptors with.
Good on you. You got a championship ring?
Because you got me into it when we were looking up. When we looked up, Gary Payton was on the Heat and Jason Williams and all those guys. And you're like, how did I forget about that team? I was looking up. I was like, Jeremy Lin was on the Toronto Raptors when they won.
Insanity.
I like I know I complained about my my gambling, but I do like where the NBA is at. I don't want it to just be like predictable. You're like, all right, it's gonna be LeBron versus whoever, or I like that there are a lot of teams. I like teams, not just stars.
It's kind of, you can insert Golden State for LeBron.
Correct. No, and I don't want to take away. I should.
The given.
Why do we say that? Because they are like they They've won the finals, 5 times in the last 8 seasons.
It's very New England Patriots-esque.
Correct.
Like, it might not be every year, but then you look at it and you're like, oh, here they are again.
Again. Oh, here we are again.
Another championship. And I think the Warriors are the best team.
Yes.
Even despite last night.
Yes.
But I think it shows you, how close the Mavericks are to being able to take that step.
I think,
but it's inconsistency, man. Because I'm sitting here tonight, and when I see Boston, Miami back at it, and there's no way you can believe that Boston can do that again.
No.
Like, if my basic better, I'm going Heat money line.
Yeah, is everyone playing? Is Butler? Everyone good?
Butler
Roster
should
ready?
be good after that.
Roster ready?
I didn't have to play
after
the second
6
half.
points. Jeez, Louise. The thing is, though, the Celtics are a team you can't sleep on, though. I always believe in defense too, and the Warriors just have the experience. They have the stars. They're beatable, though. They're beatable.
Yeah, there's not. I think for the Warriors, when you piece this out, they are the team that I trust the most of all of them.
Me too.
And I thought Kenny Smith, TNT, made a good point last night. He's like, well, you're not supposed to sweep your way to the NBA Finals.
Maybe like the first round.
Yeah. And I'm like, yes, but at some point in time, can we see one of these teams not down by 30 points in a game?
Yes. I mean,
that's also not supposed to happen. And what was it?
We always talk about it's a game of runs, but these are not runs. These are marathons. But last night, as much as they went up by 20 points, it wasn't as bad as a blowout as the rest of the games. Because of course, the Golden State Warriors coasted, and then I was like, I even thought they were gonna come back, to be honest.
The Mavericks kind of
I was like, oh boy, here we go.
In the fourth quarter, because it was the second unit.
Yes.
That brought it back. It was an 8-point game.
Yes.
At one point,
they only lost by 10.
29-point
They only
lead.
lost by 10 for how down they were.
It's a very deceiving final score line. Last night, Dallas 119, Golden State 109, because the Mavericks led by 29 at the start of the fourth quarter. It's a very confusing postseason. It's a very weird time for the NBA because there's a lot of good things you can lay out. The future of the Memphis Grizzlies, how close the Dallas Mavericks are with Luka Doncic. The Boston Celtics should be that good night in and night out, but they are not. The Miami Heat and their culture and their physicality and what they can do to you. But yet, we have seen so many lopsided scores. And, in 2015-2016, in the postseason, there are 24 games decided by 20-plus points.
What?
This year, there's been 22. So 15-16, we saw that. But I don't remember conference finals like this.
No.
You can see that in early rounds. 1 seed, a 2 seed, getting a little crazy and running away from someone. We're seeing that right now in the conference finals. And I had someone asked me that yesterday. Like, do you recall a time like this? I'm like, I don't. In this round specifically. In the first or second round, all right, you're going to see some blowouts. It happens.
You might see some sweeps.
Games get away from them. But in the conference finals, not at all. And so I keep saying it's such a weird time for the NBA because you should be dominating the sports landscape. But we're talking about how weird it is the amount of stars that you have, good teams in this league. And you look up, and there's teams down by 30 points. Good teams.
JJ, I'm not taking.
What's the line tonight?
Okay, the line is we got money line.
Yeah, so
Boston is favored.
Boston
minus 118, but the spread.
What's the spread?
Boston minus 1.5.
Boston minus 1.5. See, have fun taking that line. Have fun feeling good about that bet tonight.
Yeah, I know they say, will the momentum shift? I'm like, yeah, it's every other game.
So if you go based on what we've seen, everyone's going to be on Miami. But tonight is the night for Boston. You want us to believe that you can beat the Golden State Warriors? You go win this game in Miami. You actually win 2 games in a row in a series.
Now, JJ, this does say, though, and this was a good point that you brought up for the basic better, that is me, bet quarters. Yeah. FanDuel says best bet first quarter spread.
First quarter spread. Stay away.
I might do that for the rest of the conference finals and the NBA finals.
First quarter and first half numbers. Start to change your luck. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Sebastian Rowe, ProView Networks. A ton of big high school news within the last week on football and basketball. Of course, Duke City Gladiators also back in town this week, and he's the voice of the Gladiators and the voice of the people. He joins us next. It is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Welcome to Total Wine and More. I'm on cooler duty this weekend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Identity, you have none. What's your personnel look like?
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Some big-time high school sports news this past week. Even on May 25th, what does it all mean for next season? As school year's winding down, summer vacation on deck, school's out for summer. Enjoy it. You ready? A lot more time to have to fill, y'all.
Boy.
Hug those little ones. No, there's probably a different thing on your mind, a different feeling dropping those kids off at school because we're in one of those moments again. So embrace the little ones, but know they're going to be running around like crazy because summer's right around the corner. But high school athletics never slows down. That's a good thing for our next guest. And, of course, everyone at ProView Networks. It is opening drive here at 95.9 FM, AM 610. The Sports Animal, JJ Buck, Amory, Steph holding it down, and the voice of the people, Sebastian Noel, joins us now on the show. Sebastian, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, good to be with you guys. Talking to the new star of KOAT NBA Finals post-game coverage, JJ Buck.
Woo!
Well, you know, they're like, oh, these games have stunk, so how can we up the ratings? Got you covered. Got you covered.
I think maybe mixing a bow tie, JJ. I think you could be our new Ernie Johnson.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
I'll see. I was rocking the tie, the dress code. So you are a well-dressed man when you broadcast games. So I'm just trying to take some tips, man, from Symbieta, from Sebastian Mo, just trying to get like you guys on the TV side.
Oh, man, you rocked it. That was a stinker of a game, and you guys were good.
No, but it's good to catch up with you, man. And we got some big-time news, of course, with school coming to an end. There's a lot of decisions being made, not just for these athletes getting to the next level, but where they're going to finish their high school career. And quarterback Aiden Chavez of Cibola is heading to play in Florida for his senior season. What did you think about that when you heard the news?
You know, I'm happy for him. I think, you know, he's doing this for his future, obviously. He's going to play in the largest classification out there in Florida. The school will announce where he's going and all that, so I'm not ready to do that. He's going to do that on his own time. But I think, KJ, and I know this is going to be an unpopular statement or opinion, but I think the Lobos kind of caused this.
Really? Why do you say that?
Well, I think they were playing a very dangerous waiting game with Aiden, where if they didn't offer him that maybe, you know, that he would be right here in their backyard, and then they would extend the offer very late in the process, and the rest would be history. Because I think they knew that if they extended an offer, it would open the floodgates. And I say that, and that's a real thing, JJ, because I've talked to high school coaches when they're trying to get their kids looked at by out-of-state schools. The number one first question that always comes up if they don't have a Lobo offer is, why haven't the Lobos offered? Why haven't the Lobos offered? So I think they were playing that weight game or that stash game. You know how the Spurs used to stash draft picks in Europe? I think that was what was going on there. Because obviously that's a position the Lobos haven't really figured out, right, as quarterback. And I think he would have fit that need. But so I really think that hurt Aiden in his process, that the other offers didn't quite come. And so, you know, he had two options. Do I stay here and hope this works out by the senior year? Or do I aggressively move and take, you know, bet on myself, gamble on myself and my future? Now, the blueprint's there because he had a linebacker at Cibola a couple of years ago who also really wasn't feeling the local love. He moved to Florida, got a handful of Power 5 offers. So I think that's kind of the route that Aiden's going to go.
Yeah, and you look at Aiden Chavez, you know, last year he was second-team All-State, Class 6A, 3,075 yards passing, 32 touchdowns, 6'5". He's athletic. What have you seen just in the development of him as a player, and then the challenge that is trying to figure out, all right, how good is Aiden Chavez versus, you know, what he's working with, and especially when he's going up against Volcano Vista and Cleveland and Rio Rancho in the district?
Well, you know, I want to start with, first of all, as I know how hard he works, so I know that, right? I know he's always, you know, improving and getting better. But when it comes to the real X's and O's on the field, I don't pretend to understand, right? So I reach out to resources, right? So when I'm in the broadcast booth with the Daryl Stoneham that's played at Michigan, that's been drafted, when I'm golfing with the Nate Davis, who's a Ball State Hall of Fame quarterback and was drafted, I ask them, and they, you know, those guys all say the same thing. They're like, this kid's the real thing. He can make every throw on the field. He can do all the things that is looked at the combine. He's the real deal. And, you know, so I always kind of step back and let those guys be the judge of that because they've forgotten more than I'll know.
And so with Aiden Chavez departing, going to Florida, who are some of the names to watch at the quarterback position next year around the state?
Well, it'll be Aiden Armenta, right? The next Aiden up. Aiden Armenta, La Cueva. And he's got a great receiving core. He's a very good quarterback. He can throw the rock. He's got a nice deep ball. He's just got so many weapons to throw to, whether it's Exodus Ayers, Johnson Hicks. It's just the list goes on and on and on over there at La Cueva. And great stable of running backs. Offensively, the Bears are going to be so good, and I think Aiden Armenta is going to be the quarterback that gets the benefit from that. And I don't mean to say that in a negative way. He is very good, but man, the weapons he has, that's a quarterback's dream.
Sebastian Well, ProView Network, joining us here on the opening drive.
Hello, Sebastian. This is A. Marie. How you doing?
Good morning.
It's so good to speak with you on this side of the glass. We're also reading that the Del Norte Knights are taking a big loss. The senior to be Judah Saus, talented 6-foot guard. What do you think? How do you think that's going to affect the Del Norte Knights?
Your Knights, by the way.
Your Knights. Yeah. I'm so. Let me get that right for the we segment. Your Knights.
This one is indeed close to my heart. I think.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up this morning.
No, it's good. Del Norte, I think, you know, with those two guys there, I think you could have penciled them in for another championship appearance, right? Third championship game in a row. I think the Knights take a great step back. You know, now they have one guard back there. He's gonna score his, you know, but the team I don't think is going to be as successful. Judah does all the winning things, right? He plays defense. He's a floor general. His basketball IQ's off the charts. He's just a winner. Right, and when you take a guy like that off a team, the team is going to take a substantial step back. I think for Judah, it's one of those things where, you know, you got to look at it from a kid's perspective. He's entering his senior year. This basketball is his life. I know Judah a little bit, so I know the hours he puts in, crazy. That's all he does. And so he's entering his senior year, doesn't quite have an offer yet, right? Wondering where he's going to play at the next level. And so he kind of thought to himself, hey, maybe this ABC prep thing will open up a few new avenues, you know, from out-of-state schools. You know, obviously I think Highlands would be a great fit for him. I know Nimi has shown some interest. I think Eastern and Western has shown some interest. So all those local schools are on the table, but maybe some of those smaller D2 schools in Texas, Arizona, maybe ABC Prep and Brandon Mason can open those doors for him. So I think that's what went into that decision.
And you mentioned one of those schools, New Mexico Highlands. They just got a commitment from Jaquan Hill from Volcano Vista, who is the Gatorade Athlete of the Year when it comes to boys basketball. What do you think of that fit?
Oh, I think it'd be a great fit. Coach Dominguez does such a great job. And this is also why I think Judah would be a great fit at Highlands. Coach Dominguez does a great job of getting guys that play well together and fit well together. So when he has a guy like Jaquan Hill, there's a lot of kids up there, locals, Nate Hasbury, Derek Chavez, the list goes on and on and on. But those guys are all, they complement each other well, right? They don't have someone that's just super ball dominant, right? I think that's another part of the reason Judah might be leaving Del Norte is, he plays with a guard that's very, very ball dominant, right? So maybe Judah's offensive game was stifled a little bit there because he plays with a guard that, in the championship shot it 36 times, right? So maybe sometimes Judah's offensive game wasn't allowed to flourish there. So, but back to Highlands, I think that's what Coach Dominguez does so well is he gets guys that fit, that gel, and that's a very good basketball conference, the RMAC. And so I'm excited to see Jaquan and all the other local kids up there.
Well, Sebastian, we'll be excited to see you because I'm heading out to the Rio Rancho Event Center. Duke City Gladiators back in town taking on San Diego Saturday. So it should be a fun one.
Yeah, they're right there on the verge of the playoffs, right? We're right off the playoffs started. We began. So we got to keep this up, keep winning, and, maybe surprise the IFL and make a run in the playoffs. I'm just excited that they're back since they've been on the road for, a month and a half, right? And so that's exciting.
It's been a minute, man. I always appreciate the time. We'll see you out there on Saturday, and talk to you next week.
And now that the season's over for high school, I will finally get to see A. Marie do some stand-up live.
There we go.
Yes, that'll be awesome.
All right, guys, I'll see you on Saturday.
Yep. Sebastian Noel, ProView Network, joining us on the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the
the ABC prep program that Brandon Mason and company got going on.
I'm catching up. You know, I'm back in Albuquerque a little over a year now, and I'm like, since I was gone for 17 years, you know, I'm catching up.
I've been gone.
So it's been so nice, you know, being able to catch up with like Sebastian Noel every weekend. I'm getting back into all the local stuff, and it feels good.
Well, it is 2 or 3 years now. I don't think it's been that long for ABC prep. So Brandon Mason putting together that prep program, an opportunity. So they got things going on for athletes just out of high school, and then situations like that. Judah Casals, the standout guard from Del Norte, he's going to be playing there his senior season. Different looks is what he's hoping for. The B. Mason company doing such a good job. But it's also challenging because then a high school team loses out on a great player, but you're still looking for that future. You're trying to put yourself in the best position to take that next step, whether it's Aiden Chavez going down to Florida, trying to get some different looks. I thought what Sebastian Noel said about the Lobos was very interesting.
Yes.
In terms of New Mexico not offering Aiden Chavez a scholarship yet, this senior quarterback to be. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610. The Sports Animal, JJ Buck, A-Marie, Steph, holding it down for you here on 95.9 FM, AM 610. The Sports Animal. And it is a line you have to walk with in-state recruiting. And Danny Gonzalez, he's been all about it. And Sebastian Wallace talked about how he has heard from the coaches there is a much different relationship now with Lobo football. There is a positive relationship with the Lobos and the high schools throughout the state. That's now what Jared Kill and his staff are going to do, because in-state recruiting is important, because you have to build a walk-on program, and people hate it. Oh, they're getting disrespected and aren't getting the opportunities. No, they're going to offer the scholarships to the players they feel are D1 athletes. But then you also play that game of, do you wait? What do you see happen? If you offer a scholarship too early, does that open the floodgates? As Sebastian pointed out, the Lobos have landed some of the in-state guys. Look, Luke Wysong was a freshman receiver that played a ton for them last year in Cleveland High School. So they're not ignoring these guys, but it's still a balancing act. You're still looking at someone that going into his senior season, in this case Aiden Chavez, and what kind of quarterback is he going to be? He, of the players in the state, especially last year and then going into this year, he's the one under the biggest microscope, because the top quarterback in the state always has that hovering over them. It's either, why haven't the local team offered you yet, or how good are you actually?
Especially because I think the Lobos are trying to address the quarterback position. So maybe a lot of people are like really confused.
And especially, for Aiden Chavez, it's a battle of, you're in that district of he's good, but, and then you hear, stuff, and I appreciate what Sebastian said. There's times you got to take a step back and listen to the football people. What are they saying? And the football people like where this kid is going. For him, going to Florida doesn't, take him off the Lobos' radar. They could always come back and still offer a scholarship, but he's looking for that next step. And so best of luck to Aiden Chavez in the future, but I do think it was an interesting conversation and what Sebastian had to say in terms of they haven't offered him yet. So you're looking at your following year, you're hoping for that Division I offer, whether it comes from a Power 5 program or Group of 5 program.
For these kids, do they have to promote themselves, or do they have to hire someone to make video for them? Like, how do these kids promote themselves to all these schools?
Oh, well, Steph, it's changed a lot, but and there's, I know this sounds ridiculous, but your social media actually helps you a lot.
Okay.
A lot of these kids that are being recruited as college athletes now have their Twitter, and it's like their stats, and their height and their weight and their position, and they have websites where you can put your game film. Game film's very important, it really is all about who you know. It's unfortunately and fortunately, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But I think that we should be optimistic, and I think it's really cool that an athlete from New Mexico is going to go represent us at a college in another state. Represent us well.
We'll see what offers he gets. But he's going to play in his senior season of high school football in Florida, Aiden Chavez, and it's tough because you see.
He's probably going to play there, too, because it probably will provide more opportunity for him.
Just different eyes. You go play football in Florida. You go play football in Texas. Go play football in California.
I would. If I had the opportunity, I probably would.
A lot of times you see stories with recruiting. Coach is there to look at player Y, and he's like, who's player Z over here? Who's this guy? And that's what happens. Is you get zeroed in on someone, and they show up, and you go, oh.
Steph, to answer your question too, there is a reason. I wasn't even in El Dorado's district when I was in high school here, but I went to El Dorado for these sports programs because I thought that I had a better chance of being looked at and recruited because I went to El Dorado at that time.
You see that? That's with open enrollment. That's been a huge question mark. You see that's why a lot of kids, even if they're not living out in Rio Rancho, they try to go to Cleveland or Rio Rancho for the sports programs involve Cano Vista. Explode.
Yeah, and I had a red shirt my freshman year, but I wanted to play at El Dorado.
So it is. So as much as we talk about college athletics, NIL, recruiting, where it's going, you have these high school kids live in that world trying to find where they're going.
Also, you sometimes want to go play at a smaller school so you can develop, and then maybe you have a chance of either starting at a smaller college or making your way to a bigger program, which everybody's journey is different.
That stage. And if you get that opportunity, You get that Power 5 offer, take it. And we've seen it.
Absolutely.
Guys have that opportunity to go play at a big school, represent this state, and have an opportunity to go play professional sports, whether it's basketball, football, you name it. But it's still part of the game, and even at the high school level, you're making a business decision as a high schooler.
And you're not making a decision your senior year. You start this, well, depending on everyone's different, but usually your junior year is when you start deciding like where you start getting scouted and recruited, and you start thinking about where you want to go and what your future looks like. And you're 16.
Like what?
Like when JJ started working here, 17.
His eyes wide open. What is happening? What is going on? How do you just survive this world? Well, Lane Kiffin told Sports Illustrated something very interesting when it comes to name, image, and likeness, which goes into this recruiting conversation. We'll touch on that. The fact that the Dallas Mavericks are still alive, is that something we should buy into?
We would
How
like to thank
close
the following
are the Mavericks
sponsors
to making this a legitimate series? Boston, Miami, who you jumping on? The OTA hype. Everyone's had a great offseason. Everyone looks awesome. The hope for the future. A-Marie, Steph, Grant holding it down on ProView Networks. JJ Buck with you here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543.
Going to Florida to play his senior season of high school football. Gita Casal, standout Del Norte basketball guard, joining the ABC Prep program. And so he'll be playing his senior season of basketball with Brandon Mason and company. And recruiting, how to get recruited, who's giving you the offers. And then A.M.Marie just straight up says maybe they don't want to play for the Lobos.
Or the Aggies.
Or the Aggies.
Take that as you want it, but maybe kids want to get out and explore the world.
Which is A-okay.
Maybe and it is A-okay. And I don't understand why people are upset. Any opportunity to play at the next level or to continue your career in sports, I think, is amazing.
Well, if Aiden Chavez lands, say, just another Group of 5 offer and becomes a good quarterback, people are going to absolutely direct that anger towards New Mexico.
Of course they are.
For him not being a Lobo at that point in time. Because that's what happens is think you should keep the local kids local, but it's also
I think it's cool. I think it's cool for you to play for your home state, but also at the same time, like maybe that quarterback doesn't fit in a particular system.
There's that.
Or or into the mold. So hot take. Maybe he doesn't want to play here.
Best of luck to all these players moving forward, trying to get the offers to continue their athletic career as a student athlete at the next level, and especially now. And Sports Illustrated caught up with Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin, who's had himself quite the interesting career. And Lane Kiffin told Sports Illustrated that he believes 100% of high school players are choosing schools based on the highest NIL guarantee. And he doesn't blame them. He believes the current model is sustainable.
Is sustainable.
Yet it will produce uncomfortable locker room environments where boosters evolve into team owners, manipulating coaching decisions, and so on. Now, I don't think 100% of high school players are choosing that because not all of them are in the NIL market, because not all of them are getting NIL money. Just because a school has a collective doesn't necessarily mean all those athletes are getting money, even though we've heard about the A&M offensive lineman or Texas offensive lineman, things like that, or position groups are. So I don't think you can say 100% are, but it's a part of the recruiting game. And I do think that's what frustrates coaches more than an outside entity giving their players money. It's losing the power in those situations. And then you already have to be, the salesperson plus the, donate money to us, plus shaking everyone's hands, all the roles you have as a head coach. But now you might have some dudes that said, hey, I put X amount of money in the collective to get this player, and he ain't playing. What's the deal? And so I think that's where a lot of the frustration and uncertainty is coming from the coaches, as opposed to worrying about NIL deals for the players.
Right. So if the performance doesn't meet the NIL deal.
No, if, say, the coach makes a decision like this player just isn't cutting it right now, but he was the hype player, came in on campus, got the NIL deal to come in, and then so you have your collective or people that are putting money in that collective going, hold up. Like this, I thought this dude was supposed to be the next best thing, and you ain't playing him, coach.
Or if it's like the parent of the player. Oh, man.
So it feels like that's what's on the coaches' minds a lot, as opposed to NIL. because it's not their money, it's someone else giving out money, but it's the
Because that's gonna
who thinks
stink.
they can start really making more decisions. Because boosters are always
That's gonna be the worst though.
Put their
Because you're like,
huge
oh, I have to feel like I have to play this running back because the boosters paid whatever. Like that's gonna be awful. Don't you want to win?
and so
Trust the coach.
Yeah, but it's influence. It goes from, hey, I donated money to club X, Y, and Z over here for my alma mater. Hoorah! Yeah, I'm on the sidelines. So now I actually helped you get that quarterback, so you should be playing this dude.
Right. And oh man, what if they're just a total bust?
And that's the
I mean,
thing,
that happens. We see
you're
that.
still
We
ta-
see
you're
that.
talking about developing 17 and 18-year-olds.
Yeah. Oof.
That's gonna be. We got some good questions to ask Danny Gonzalez Monday. It's just recruiting. Like, where do you even start? Like, is it I caught a highlight tape, but you can't watch a highlight tape because what's a highlight tape? It's all the best plays. You want to see the bad plays. You want to see.
We all think we're the coaches too, so this is just gonna give more power to Monday morning quarterback.
So Lane Kiffin in this interview.
So are these boosters gonna be watching film?
Right. So Lane Kiffin in this interview with Sports Illustrated, he was asked about when he was a head coach of the Raiders, and he had that spat with Al Davis. Number 1 pick Jamarcus Russell. He's a great player. Get over it. And Lane Kiffin did not see eye to eye with Al Davis, and so they said, "Do you see that starting to play on college football?" And Lane Kiffin said, "Quote: How is that not going to be an issue? That the donor pays the money for the player, and you're not playing them, and that same donor gets you hired and fired. That donor is now what? The owner. I've been there, where the owner calls and says, 'We need to play this guy.' And I say, 'No, we need to play this other guy.' I'll tell you what happens. You get fired. You get fired on an overhead projector." That was funny. What's going to happen when the lead donor calls and says, 'Play this guy,' and you don't? Do you not get fired?" Unquote. So I think what Lane Kiffin is saying there is what has all these coaches on edge. It's not, all right, NIL deals. Oh, okay, we have to get this guy money, but at least we have a collective, so you're going to be able to give him something, even though you're not supposed to offer him money, but it's out there. The lines are blurred, and if there's NIL, it's kind of pay for play, whatever. But it's the times where your collective steps up, puts a really good NIL deal together for a player. Said player isn't playing, but said players make a ton of money. Who gets mad? Who is under the most pressure then?
The coaches.
Yeah. So that's what it really feels like, because when you take a step back, the universities aren't paying extra in these deals. I think I do believe, that's student athletes, when you do see them out there doing a commercial, when they're using their social media platforms to promote something, like that has reach, that has impact. So there's value to that. So the NIL, quote unquote, money, you're getting value for that. But I also understand how that changes the dynamic even more so, because boosters are pretty powerful people. But now if they are, say, paying players.
How do you become a booster?
You just have a lot of money.
So you just have a lot of money, and
You have
you
a lot
want
of
to when you want to invest in a player.
Booster
at
is just a word for a donor.
Okay.
But that, and in this context, someone that's invested in sports and is like always there. And so they put their money into a program, so they become a booster for said university.
Right. So this is only going to benefit the high caliber teams.
Not necessarily, because New Mexico has a collective right now, and they're offering NIL deals. But when we're trying to sort through this and figure out who's actually getting, is anyone getting hurt in this? Who's upset? What is the problem? Well, it's not necessarily the NIL deal. It's just another thing that these coaches have to deal with. I think that is what is on the mind of coaches. What Lane Kiffin just said is it's one thing to answer to the athletic department, to the fan base, to your contract. You have to develop players. You have to win, because college athletics is still business. But what happens when you're not playing that high-profile recruit? Maybe he's just not ready. Maybe he's just not good enough. But he's the one that the collective got a lot of money. And then what happens now? The different pressure from those boosters, from that collective. You know, it's one thing to just not perform. And if you're not developing talent, you're not building a program, you understand that. But now, if you're not performing with the right student athlete, what do you have to deal with?
Man, this is tough.
Right? And so I think that
it's like the booster, not like they want to.
Right. So
I don't want to be the coach.
Right. I think so. I think that's what's kind of on coaches' minds more so than NIL and pay for play and get out of control, because you've got a collective. There's going to be opportunities for your student athletes to do something. There's going to be opportunities for you to offer that in recruiting, even though you're not supposed to. But it's when that big time offer is handed out, player signs, and he ain't quite ready, then you got to deal with that backlash. 505-246-0610 is the phone number. Sports Animal text line. A. Marie, Steph, JJ Buck holding it down here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports
We would
Animal.
like to thank the following sponsors.
I'm Scott Stigler for Windsor Door Sales. It's happening again and again. A business owner shows up for work and finds shattered glass and broken dreams. Windsor Door Sales has the solution.
like to
Rolling
thank the
shutters
following
cover the windows
sponsors
after
for
business
making
hours,
this
or
broadcast
durable
possible.
mesh screens are always in place.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business.
10. The Sports Animal.
This is what we call a fantastic segue.
I'm so excited.
Talking about local athletes, and you're sitting here, some big-time news. Aiden Chavez, the Seabrook quarterback, he's transferring to Florida to play senior high school football. Trying to get some more offers, trying to get some looks. You see Gita Casals the standout guard at Del Norte. He's going to go play at ABC Prep for his senior season. Opportunities. You're trying to get that look. And guess what? A scholarship still matters. But the world is changing because you forget about scholarships and you start looking at NIL deals. And boy, do we have a great in-studio guest. It is a local legend, and his story is far from done. It is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. And if you see, so this laptop up here, we're on ProView Network. We're on TV, too.
You're on
So,
TV.
All right. Wave to the people.
Channel 26.
JJ Buck, Amory, Steph. That is Jordan Bird. Yes, the Jordan Bird. He's got one more year. He's taking his 5th year. He'll be back with the San Diego State Aztecs, but the Manzano graduate in town because he's putting on a camp on Sunday. First off, Jordan, man, appreciate the time. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me on the show. It's an honor to be on the show with you guys.
Well, we appreciate it, and this is just it's perfect timing.
You literally came in the perfect moment. We were talking about if if local kids, like, should they play locally, NIL deals. I mean, we were.
What was it like for you in high school? You were just talking about you're a basketball player. You were on track and field. You popped on the football field. When you first started to get those Division I offers, what was that like?
That's when I knew it started to get serious. At first I was just out there to have fun. I've been playing football since I was 6 years old. So, I mean, it's always been a dream to come true to play in the college leagues. But when I started getting the first offers, UNM was the first offer I got. I was a freshman at the time, so that really gave me an opportunity to know that, like, I needed to focus on what I was doing with my life. It's hard out here in New Mexico to focus on one thing. But I felt like my family took the time to take me out of that life and show me that football would be one of my dream sports. A lot of people want the opportunity, and I got the opportunity to take advantage of it. School and preparing for college, honestly, it really helped me out. My parents took the time to show me that football can be your main thing in life. So I feel like in high school it kind of was still like I'm still having fun, but you still got to be focused on what your dreams are. So that's what I feel like what happened in high school.
When you look, you spent 4 years at San Diego State. You're taking the opportunity to play your 5th year, that extra year, COVID, which sucked, but it's given everyone the opportunity to take advantage of one more year. You're talking about your second team All-Mountain West in 2020. 2019 New Mexico Bowl co-offensive most valuable player. What was that like to be able to come back to Albuquerque, play in a bowl game, and then put on a show like that?
It was good because I didn't know that was Rocky Long's first or last time with us in San Diego. But it was really cool, playing against a different team in front of a lot of my family and friends. It was pretty cool to put on a show for them. I got one more time to play in New Mexico again, so it's gonna be really, really fun.
And you mentioned, the path, this opportunity that is given you, and scholarship, that still matters. That's super important. But we have seen opportunities now for collegiate athletes are opening up. You got name, image, and likeness. You being in it when it wasn't there to it now being on the table. How have you seen it evolve from a student athlete standpoint?
I mean, it gives a lot of college students or college athletes a better opportunity to play for what they want to play for. College, a lot of people think we're just playing to just play. We're playing out there to have fun, and we love the sport. Not just for football, but for soccer, track, basketball, baseball. The NIL gives a lot of kids the opportunity to want to play, to go out there and play for, I guess, an endorsement or something like that. I have a few that really helped me, local as well. But even in San Diego, a lot of people have helped me out as well. It's a good opportunity for a lot of kids. Even in high school, I think they're starting an NIL deal as well. But it's a really good deal for us.
That's amazing. Yeah, because I think a lot of people are concerned with the NIL deals that it will affect the coaching. Be hard on the coaches because if a booster invests in a player and then the player doesn't perform well, how do you think that's going to affect?
I mean, it can affect. That's a big question.
I know. Well, that's what we're trying to figure out this morning. No pressure. No pressure.
Well, that's a big question, but we're all human, you know. Athletes gonna have their bad days, and if you have a bad day, then we know we can always follow up off that, you know. It's a I don't know, we're all human, so.
No, I think it's great that gives you guys opportunity to help build your brand, your likeness, your name. It is a business at the end of the day, especially if you want to further. You said you want to go to the NFL, so I think this is helping you. So that's great.
Oh yeah, I mean, even in the NFL and bigger leagues, they always have bad days too. So
Oh, we know.
there's a lot of bidding and stuff like that, but it's all a human thing. So
That is the voice of Jordan Bird, the standout San Diego State Aztecs former Monzano star, joining us in studio. He's in town. Well, it's birthday. It's the off season, but also this Sunday, you're partnering up with the Duke City Gladiators to put on a one-day football camp, kids K through 12. What made you want to do this right now?
I felt like I needed to give back to the community. I haven't heard of a camp in a long time that they have had here, so I feel like this was a good opportunity to give kids an opportunity to show, like, there's time out there that you can put, you know. A lot of kids are doubting their dreams, you know, to playing in the NFL or playing in a soccer league and stuff like that. I feel like I'm giving them the opportunity now to see that you still have dreams. You still can play in the college, play in the NFL. Like, there's still times out there that, or there's not even times, there's still dreams out there that you can still fight for. I feel like you still got to go for it, even if you're in New Mexico. That's one thing I feel like people should know. Like, you got an opportunity to play in any.
You want that confidence.
Oh yeah.
You just want to know that there's people behind you, that there's people that have your back. And so this Sunday at the Rio Rancho Event Center, it's from noon to 3 p.m. Can people just show up, or what's?
Yeah.
How do they get involved with this camp this Sunday?
I have a link. If you, I guess, follow me on Instagram, I have my link in my bio.
What's your Instagram?
Jordan with 2 N's .bird. I think it's on my link. Or you can follow Dream Up Sports. That's the company that's helping me with this as well. They have all the information as well. Even if you want to come and watch, I think you guys can come and watch.
Can you tell us more about Dream Up Sports?
It's a guy that I've met on social media. He's been really helping me. He's helping another dude in Michigan with another camp. But Dream Up Sports, they're like an academy. I guess they're helping out college students, and it's like with camps as well. Like, this one of the camps that's helping me is Dream Up Sports. So
what camps did you attend? Any camps, and what stood out to you? You know, when you were a young kid, you mentioned playing athletics, but what did the camps do for you to help you in your future?
I went to a Brian Urlacher camp. I went to Arian Foster camp when I was younger. So going to those two, felt like that gave me opportunity to see, like, oh, these New Mexico kids or players have made it out. I feel like I can too. So I feel like my heart followed that dream. You know, going to those camps really, like, boost my dreams of, like, being in the NFL. So and then getting invited to other camps. Like, I got invited to the Nike Combine. There's one in San Antonio. It was the Army camp, I think. Getting invited to those two really showed me that, like, wow, I can really do this, because a lot of people don't get the opportunity. So it was an honor getting those opportunities.
I think this is a really good time that you are providing this camp, especially we're overcoming a pandemic that hopefully will end or is ending, or I don't know where we're at. But I think it's really good, because I do think a lot of kids have given up hope or gotten, even the world, we've gotten a little lazy. It was a weird time. It's been a weird time.
COVID-20 for a lot of people, it hit them.
You know, the COVID-15 or whatever you want to call it. But I've noticed that younger generations, they don't seem as much into sports as we were. So maybe just reintroducing it to them and like you said, providing opportunity. I think this is really great. I'm like, how are you, like, kids aren't into sports as much?
Yeah, I mean, I said on the news last time, people have been hitting me in my DMs telling me, like, oh, my brother has gave up on sports. He doesn't want to do this no more. And I've got it so many times, I'm like, I have to do something about it, because I've been in that spot before that I never wanted to play any sports anymore. I wanted to be just a regular person, I guess. Just walking around the world.
Not have to worry about practice
yeah,
and
not
all
worry
this
about
stuff.
all this stuff. This time management. There's a lot of time management you have to worry about. But I felt like I needed this camp to show these kids that like you still got opportunity out here. My school, Manzano, they hit me up the other day, getting the opportunity to go out there as well. That's where my heart is Manzano. So
What's it like? You still got 1 year left. You'll be a fifth-year senior playing for San Diego State, but to then be someone that kids are looking at. Like you went from, I can achieve this dream, to now people are looking at you as they want to follow your path.
I want people to pass my path, I guess, because I don't want anybody to look after me. You feel me? I want people to overachieve what I did. What I did is in the past. People can pass the past. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. You say, hey, I hit my goal, but your goals can be as big as you want them to
They
be.
can be as big as you want them. I want people to pass what I did, because I'm a human being. Anybody can do what they can do. That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's this Sunday, teaming up with the Duke City Gladiators. It's going to be at the Rio Rancho Event Center, noon to 3 p.m. It's football camp K through 12. So you guys are going to be ready for anything. You're going to be ready for the youngsters. You're going to be ready for the high school kids that are bringing a different edge. And you can find the link, Dream Up Sports, also Jordan Bird's Instagram. He's going to be sticking around. We're going to dive into a bunch of stuff. We're going to continue to talk about college athletics, the importance of camps like this for young athletes in the state of New Mexico. It is the opening drive here at 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Registration is now open for the Lobo Cancer Challenge. Cancer affects us all, and you can unite.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home.
Yeah, that's a good recruiting tool. It's called The Beach. The beaches of San Diego. We're loaded now.
We're loaded.
We're loaded. It's
This
opening
is a
drive.
way to end the
here at 95.9
hump day.
Hump Day. FM AM 610 The Sports Animal. A-Marie, JJ Buck, Steph Hole in the town. You can also catch us on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26. We got Jordan Bird, the San Diego State Aztec, who will be using his 5th year of eligibility next year. He's in town throwing a camp in partnership with the Duke City Gladiators. We got the Gladiators quarterback, Ramon Atkins, in studio now, just off of practice. So he's like, man, I was running behind. Like, it's okay. You got practice, man. You guys got a game. You're back in town. First off, man, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm feeling great. You know, voice is a little raspy. Excuse me.
No, it's good for radio.
Nope. But we appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming in.
No, thank you for having me.
So, of course, Duke City Gladiators back in town. They're playing a game Saturday night against San Diego, 6 o'clock at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Then on Sunday, noon to 3, the Gladiators are partnering up with Jordan Bird, having that football camp K through 12. And we were just talking with Jordan about his journey. You're a kid from Indiana. You went to Alcorn State. Then you came to the state of New Mexico. You played at New Mexico Highlands for 3 seasons. First, what was that like for you, high school kid, getting recruited, then having to make that decision of your next step?
I wasn't heavily recruited out of high school, surprisingly, but I was able to go to Alcorn through a college tour the NAACP was hosting. We went down. I met Coach Hobson at the time, and he offered me a preferred walk-on spot, made my journey down there, and then ventured over here to New Mexico Highlands with my brother. Actually, he played wide receiver, so I got the opportunity to play with him for 2 years, and that kind of influenced my decision to come over.
And, for you, too, and you're making that journey, what kind of camps or what kind of things help propel you when you were a young kid, when you got into high school, to keep pushing that dream, to keep pursuing what you wanted to be as a quarterback?
When you go into these different camps, you meet numerous people who have, these gurus. They've been in the league, and they're constantly training, those up-and-coming next guys. So going to the Elite 11 kind of helped spark that. I met a Trent Dilfer. I met him, QB coach. Played with some of the guys that are actually in the league right now. And just the camps and just the guys around me, help keep that grind going.
That is the voice of Ramon Atkins, quarterback for the Duke City Gladiators. 36 passing touchdowns this season. That's the most in the IFL for the Gladiators. You got 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. How has it been just kind of, you were thrown into the fire. Nate Davis got hurt. They're looking for a quarterback. Here you come with these great numbers. What's it like playing the indoor game versus the outdoor game?
The difference, everybody knows, is the tempo, the speed of the game, knowing your reads quicker. This has been great having Nate with me. He's going to be with us full time. Blessed to have him. He's definitely helped me transition a lot faster than another guy would. So that's really been the key.
Do you like it?
Oh, I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
I love the close games. The close games are the best. The fans really get into it. They get rowdy. The interaction with the fans, you really don't get that on other levels. The fans are 2 feet behind you. You can talk to them, talk smack if you want. So,
Did you ever think that arena football would be in your future? Like this would be an option for you?
I didn't. It wasn't up until last December I got an opportunity to play in a bowl game in Minnesota at the Viking Stadium, and I had so much fun there. And it just dawned on me, as long as I'm playing football, having fun, I think I'll be fine. And that's what I'm doing now, and I'm enjoying it.
That is one of the best stadiums in the United States, just so everyone knows.
That's the Vikings.
U.S. Bank.
we got Jordan Bird, Ramon Atkins in studio. Of course, Jordan Bird, San Diego State Aztec. He's got one more season left to stand out running back, kick returner. Ramon Atkins, a quarterback for the Duke City Gladiators. You guys are actually teaming up, Gladiators stepping up. And Jordan, I want to get your thoughts of, you were just telling us how tough it was to just even put on a camp. There's a lot of rules, a lot of hurdles that you had to jump through. So for the Duke City Gladiators, Gina and company to be able to step up, how big is that for you to team up with them?
Oh man, it's wonderful. You know, Gina really put in a lot of work to get me out here to set this camp up. You know, the guy that was helping me, you know, took a lot of courage and a lot of just took a lot. I know that. I didn't know there were so many rules out here to start a camp, but we all took the time. You know, it took us months. It took us months to figure out how to get it started. You know, from endorsements to finding a field, finding flyers and stuff like that. You know, Gina took the time to really help us out, so that was really clutch.
Yeah, and Ramon, one of the things we're talking about is, you know, throw a camp like this. Yeah, there might be some kids that roll through that will be looking at playing at the next level, whether it's D1 or D2. But a lot of it, too, is just to kind of give young kids the confidence. Maybe high school is the last time you'll be playing. You know, that's happened with a lot of us. But to just kind of re-energize the youth, how big is that for you, even young in your professional career, to realize what you can do for the kids with your platform?
Best thing we can do as going through it is the advice, man. I've received advice growing up, you know, and we kids, we think we know better, you know, and then when we actually get there, you think back like, dang, they were right. I'm going through this myself. So, you know, just take what we say, you know, into consideration. You know, we're going through it and we're going to go through some more, and you're also going to go through it. So it's just really the advice that should stick with them the most.
We're also seeing changes. Like, you just left college athletics. He's got one more year. As someone that's been there, done that, and we're talking a different level. Like, the New Mexico Highlands versus San Diego State, like, your meal table might be a little bit different than what you got going on at Highlands over there. But just the added opportunities. You know, as someone that went through that, you see name, image, and likeness. You see all these battles going on. What do you think the future of college athletics holds?
That's tough. I mean, hopefully it's going in the right direction for the players. You know, that's what we want to base it around. You know, it's a business, and that's another thing the guys got to understand. It's a business. You know, decisions are going to be made based on what's best for the program. And along the way, if you benefit from that through the classroom and off the field with the NIL stuff, you know, that's great.
Got Ramon Atkins, Duke City Gladiators quarterback in studio, along with Jordan Bird, San Diego State running back. They're teaming up. Well, you got the Gladiators game on Saturday. We're all going to be there first and foremost, 6 o'clock against San Diego. But then on Sunday at the Rio Rancho Event Center.
That's funny.
The San Diego Strike Force are in town, and Duke City Gladiators back. Man, how long were you guys on the road? That was a minute.
Yeah, I think 5 weeks now. So this will probably, 5-6 weeks. Long road. Long time on the road. Glad to be back home. So our fans can come out, support us, and give you guys a show.
Yeah, 4-5. We're still right there in position to go postseason. How are you feeling after the road trip? That's a long time away, but what did that do to kind of just bring you guys together for this final run?
Built us up. You know, it builds character, that camaraderie we need. You know, we talk to each other like a family. You know, this is what's going on, and this is what needs to be done. And piggybacking off these couple wins is going to be big moving on with these home games.
And, you know, Jordan, for you guys, how big is building team chemistry in the offseason, especially at a collegiate program? Because you're talking about a roster. There's 120 dudes on it. You got your scholarship players. You got the walk-on. The time for you to build that chemistry, what part of the season is most important for that for you guys?
I feel like in the offseason, you know, a lot of kids come from different parts. Black, white, it doesn't matter. As long as you're a brotherhood together, you're going to have a good team, you know. Our coaches have been pushing that we need to be a players' team instead of a coaches' team, because coaches don't play, players play. That's what our coaches always tell us, you know. If you have a coach leading the team, it might not be a good team. If you have a brotherhood in that scene, I feel like anybody can do whatever you want. You can go undefeated. It doesn't matter. As long as you're a team together, it'll be a good team.
That's Jordan Bird. We got Ramon Atkins. We're coming back. We're going to put these guys on a little bit of a hot seat.
Hot seat?
A hot seat, yeah. They're sharing their stories. They got great things to say, but we need to know what they got to say about the Eastern and Western Conference Finals.
Oh.
We got to know what they got to say about breakout quarterbacks, breakout teams in the NFL, because this is the sports animal. We're going to do that next here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone.
Don't be complaining. West Side exists. That's my hood. West Side. But drive out to Rio Rancho, the event center, Saturday night. Duke City Gladiators back in town hosting San Diego. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff. And then the following day, the Gladiators teaming up with this man right here, Jordan Bird, the San Diego State Aztec, to put on a football clinic K through 12, so it's wide open. So you're going to talk about, you're going to see some high schoolers out there, you're going to see some young kids, but a great opportunity, a one-day football camp this Sunday, noon to 3. So just maybe even bring the camper out. Just park out there at Rio Rancho Event Center, get the Duke City Gladiators game.
Not that far.
It's not that far.
Albuquerque, come on. It's
You know-
not that bad.
Oh, Jordan knows this. He grew up here, but Ramon, you'll understand that this is a
Yeah,
city
but we are Heights kids.
that we
You were a West Side kid. We were
Side.
Heights kids.
Go Cougs. This is a city that it has it wants to be a big city, But if you tell someone they got to drive 20 minutes somewhere, they lose their mind.
20 minutes here is different than 20 minutes in San Diego.
Oh my,
20
Jeff,
minutes in San Diego
Jeff and I
really
talk
short.
about it all the time.
Yeah, so driving 20 minutes here is for sure kind of long, but in San Diego, it's really short to me, I think.
Yeah, but you'll discover that. It's one of the things. It's just driving distance. But you guys got a great event center you're playing at. You're pushing for a playoff position, so that should be a lot of fun. That's Ramon Atkins, Duke City Gladiators quarterback. Jordan Bird, the Manzano standout now with San Diego State Aztecs. We got this one on the text line. It says, love Jordan Bird. Fellow Manzano alum, much younger though, and it's because of Jordan that Manzano finally won a state title.
Not because of me. Our team was really good. You know, the team that I played with, I used to play against them in like Yaffle and stuff. And
oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so we went on a tournament in Las Vegas, and playing with them really like felt like I was at home. So that's what really made me want to play for Manzano. So that was really fun. And I love Manzano. That's where my heart is. So
Monarchs.
Yep, Manzano, the Monarchs, and it's really interesting. So I think you guys, we were just having this discussion during the break, and you guys have been recruited at the highest level, and both of you were talking that, man, if I was just in the South, it could have been different. But Ramon, you also said something too, that if you're talented enough, they'll find you.
Right.
Like your opportunity will come. It's just about embracing that chance when you finally get it.
Yeah. I mean, the kids nowadays, they're blessed. They have all these social media platforms.
Oh, wait.
They can sit at home and really be their own marketing team and promote themselves. That was harder. We kind of had the same thing growing up as well, but it's just escalated so much from when I graduated in 2015 to now.
Yeah, you can put your, I don't know if you guys do this, but even just having like film out there on YouTube or your Instagram or whatever, you never know who's going to come across it.
That's true.
Yeah, it goes back to that branding. Even having to do that as a high school kid. But we got so much going on. Of course, Duke City Gladiators back in town. The camp on Sunday. Are you guys? What's your getaway? Like when you have that downtime, do you still enjoy watching sports? Is there something else that you do? Like, we'll start with you, Jordan. Like, when you have that time where like, all right, I don't have to study right now. I'm out of the weight room. What do you like to do?
All I know is I don't really watch sports a lot. I feel like I always need a time away from sports because it's a job to me. So I'm into fashion. I make my own clothes. I sew. I paint.
So
I do all that
cool.
stuff. So I love sewing. My grandma's taught me. My friends back home that I hang around with, they taught me as well. Like sewing is one of my favorite things I love doing. Something comes to mind I want to make. I'm like, okay, I want to make some shorts. Just stuff like that. Like quality in clothes. So that's one thing I love.
NIL opportunity right there.
That's
If anyone is listening in San Diego.
That is
that's
unique for an athlete.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is amazing.
So if I don't make it in sports, I want to go to fashion school. So
That's awesome.
one of my favorite things.
That's great. They have great ones in San Diego.
Oh yeah, yes. Especially I want to go to San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's one of my.
Oh, this is a fun fact.
For me, when I'm in the off season or just my downtime, when I'm watching sports, when I'm watching football, it's really not for. It's for enjoyment, but it's hard to flip that switch, and I'm kind of studying it, I'm watching the quarterback position, seeing what they see, and it kind of makes it a little hard because the camera angles that they use on TV are rough. They can't get the full aerial shot.
It's not all 22.
No, you need that film, man. It's so different. People would judge positions so differently if they actually watched film.
Yeah.
I think in the new league that they have like the head cams now on the running backs and quarterbacks and stuff. So seeing that was really cool. Seeing what they see as well. So.
Yeah, that's I think you bring up a great point. You got Ramon Atkins, Duke City Gladiators quarterback, Jordan Bird, the San Diego State Aztec, in studio is, being in that moment. Like, for us, we're talking heads, we're looking at it kind of differently versus, when you're in it, like you need that time away, because I can totally understand that of, when you're in the game, it's hard to watch something when it's your job. Like, so that totally makes sense about how you'd view, the game differently than a bunch of us or like the fans at that moment in time.
I have a question for Ramon, actually. We have a lot of quarterback debate on this show about the position in general. Have you always played quarterback?
No, actually.
That is so interesting to me.
I have, but I haven't. I started 5'4", years of age. It wasn't until youth football you have to be a certain weight to play the skill positions.
Interesting.
And
I didn't know that.
And I think in my last year of elementary to my first year in middle school, I actually played on the offensive line. And
So
the
you're
D-line.
you're too big.
I was
You're one
too
of those
big.
kids like we can't have this one destroying all the.
And then it wasn't until middle school, after I moved to Indiana, that's when I started playing quarterback again in 7th, 8th grade, on to freshman, back to doing what I love.
Well, I mean, I just people are so quick to blame the quarterback. You get the biggest praise, but then you get all the heat when they lose too. So do you like playing quarterback? And clear that up for people, because it takes a lot more than just the quarterback. I get really upset. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's a team game for a reason. It's just that the quarterback makes such a big impact on how momentum can shift in the game. We always preach do your 1/8. In indoor football, there's only 8 players, so I'm saying do your part. To help the team win, make the team better.
That's awesome. Sorry, I just got really excited.
No, that's that's
we
got to take advantage of these
We got to take
opportunities.
advantage of this because, man, we have heavy quarterback
have
debate on
real
here
athletes
all the
in this
time,
studio.
all the time.
Because it's one thing for me, I'm an all-pro flag football safety, but I can't quite relate to what you guys are doing on the actual football field.
Yeah, I can understand with him because in high school I was a quarterback. It was hard for me because I'm the shortest dude out there. So trying to see over the line.
You're probably the fastest, though.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. You weren't.
He was
It's
the fastest.
very mobile game now, so.
Oh yeah, so you get a lot of hate being a quarterback.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
Sorry, I stand up for the quarterback a lot.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's Monday morning quarterback on this show. They call in and they're the experts, so they've never played.
One thing I've noticed going around on social media, I see it every now and then, is the interception stat. Is the interception caused by the quarterback or was it caused by the receiver? Receivers should probably get that interception stat on there.
Should they have
or the
interceptions
and the touchdowns
and
the touchdowns?
You could start, putting that asterisk interceptions off of wide receivers' hands versus thrown right to the defense.
Well, this goes for both of you guys. I am a gambling addict. I admit it, and I lost money because Joe Mixon threw a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and they didn't count it as his touchdown.
The receiver's touchdown.
I
You get the
know,
passing
but I was
touchdown.
just mad because I lost money.
Yeah, there you go. And Jordan, I'm interested for you, the time you spent playing quarterback, how did that help you as a running back? Look at the game differently.
Just looking at, honestly, the defense, being a quarterback, you got to see, like, who's moving around, what's going on and stuff, and you got to make an audible, Being a running back now, I feel like being a quarterback gave me the opportunity of, like, reading what a defense is doing, how the line is shifting, how the defense is moving around, from a safety all the way down to the D lineman, It gave me the opportunity to really focus on that. A lot of people think you just go out there and just run the ball. There's a lot of techniques you got to go through besides, cutting and stuff like that. You got to use your head. Even though when you're out there, things are different, but just got to stay focused, see what's going on. Watching a lot of film really helps with that. So,
how's the adjustment been for you, Ramon Atkins, Duke City Gladiators quarterback, reading a field, versus all right, spread out. I'm looking at the defense, 11 defenders, where they're moving versus this is 50 yards. Everyone's on top of each other.
It actually is a little easier reading the defenses indoor. They can only do so many things, Outdoors, you can really, you can twist. I don't think you can't twist on the D line here. You can rob, similar to outdoor, the safety rob in the middle of the field. You can cloud, but it's because it's such a short field, there's not a lot of airtime on the ball when it's in the air, so
there's not many things they can do to try to use you.
Right,
line of scrimmage.
if they're in cover one, they got one guy high in the middle. If they're cover two, they got two safeties there. It's not really they can try, but
There's not enough time.
Yeah, we'll expose it. We'll expose it for sure.
So you guys this weekend teaming up on Sunday. Once again, Saturday night, Duke City Gladiators back home. They're taking on San Diego, 6 p.m., Rio Rancho Event Center. And then on Sunday, Jordan Bird, along with the Duke City Gladiators, putting on a football camp, K through 12. Once again, you can hit up Jordan on the Instagram or look up Dream Up Sports for the links. And what kind of things are you going to be doing on Sunday, just putting the kids through? Because it's going to be from the high school players to the youngins just getting in that are going to be out there.
Just going through drills, just drills like from running backs, quarterbacks, D linemen, any type of drills they want to go through. I think we're going to have there. At the end, I want to have like a little 1v1, just wide receivers versus DBs, stuff like that, just to have fun, back in the old days, what we used to do and stuff, just being competitive. That's what I like, racing against each other, doing 40s, stuff like that, just want to have fun. I want to get involved too. So if anybody wants to get involved,
wear
with
them
me,
out.
So
wear them out.
Of course, yeah.
Summer vacation starting. Wear them out.
I'm gonna have my football cleats there too. So I'm ready.
Jordan's gonna be ready to go. Duke City Gladiators going to be out there helping out as well. And I mean, Ramon, for you, has it been just all football, or were you like a multi-sport guy and then just took off with football?
Basketball, dual sport for me in high school. Basketball, kind of going back to what we talked about, like same with basketball. If I watch it, I'm coaching kind of in my head, cut, pass, whatever. But yeah, dual sport, basketball and football has been me. I tried baseball my junior year in high school. Because I wasn't used to the throwing motion and the whipping of the arm, my elbow started to reflect that, and I just let it go. Not growing up doing it, so.
There you go. I appreciate you guys coming in. You got Jordan Bird. Good luck on your senior season as well. We'll see you out there this week. And Ramon Atkins, Duke City Gladiators quarterback, they're back in town. We appreciate you guys coming in. Look forward to this weekend, the game Saturday night, the camp on Sunday. We really appreciate what you guys are doing for this community and the time that you gave us this morning. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
you. Amory, great work. Steph, thank you for coming in, producing today, holding it down. Jeff Simieta back tomorrow.
Not gambling today.
He's not
on
betting
the
on
Celtics
the
Heat.
Celtics Heat game because that's a mess. I want to thank Sebastian Well for joining us earlier, talking some prep sports. We got the Jim Rome Show coming up next. Colin Cowherd after that. 2 minutes on, more local talk at 4. Isopes Baseball follows that, everybody. Meta World, peace and love. Have a great day.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated,